Today is Saturday, August 8th, and this week, some stuff happened.
We're rapping. This is a recap of the week wrap. We're going to take a peek at what happened this week. Yeah, last week tonight aired on Sunday. It's that show with John Oliver. He's the British toucan who can go and teach all listeners about the way in which history is taught in America. Spoiler alert, there are some gaping holes there. It's appalling what's written in actual textbooks. Let's look at how exactly this Texas text puts it. Some U.S. settlers brought slaves to Texas to help work the fields and do chores. Do chores? You horrible people. It is not fair play to compare the two that way. It's like saying JFK had a bad hair day. The piece goes into more detail and it's well worth the watch, but it boils down to three key problems with how history is taught. Number one, we fail to properly acknowledge the white supremacy. Even in this modern time, it's part of the Constitution's legacy. The Constitution deserves credit for being the bedrock of our democracy, but in the 3/5 or fugitive slave clause, we see the codification of slavery and racial inequality. We cannot just ignore these flaws we see. Take a gander at how we prop up mythology. Number two, we view America as improving constantly. Its ascension, inevitable, exceptional, and God's decree, but after the Civil War, black people voted and held office. And then the Jim Crow laws and the KKK came to stop this. Racism is not some otherworldly evil. The fight for progress is a fight against other people. In Wilmington, North Carolina, there was a literal coup d'etat. Black people on the council, white supremacists shoot them off. It's funny how in history class we always just move along, and even when it is covered, it's black people who are at fault. So in the 60s, when they fought for rights against the racists, they were fighting for the rights that they had already tasted, plus an added economic component that most people fail to notice because it means the fight's not over. Number three, we fail to connect the dots from the past to the present. History is still happening. Do you like where it's headed? Our systems of housing and education are still infused with segregation. And have you seen how big the racial wealth gap is? White supremacy isn't over. It's merely adapted. It's less racial slurs and more cutting taxes because they've learned that they can get away with it if they're more abstract. Just look at the president tweeting about protecting white suburbia. His affectionate eyeing of red fucking lining is proof that he's more than just a germ in a country that is otherwise beyond debasing. He fits in a system of racism baked into this nation. It was here before him, and it will be here after him. The least we can do is make sure our understanding of this history is accurate. The reason we needed to shine light on this is because the less you know about history, the easier it is to think you'd be on the right side of it. We need to talk about our flaws even though they're unpleasant, because otherwise we have no way to correct them. History, when taught right, is a guide to make things better, but when taught poorly, it's the lie that things are perfect already. You think the show would end here on this deep and heartfelt sentiment, but nope. Mummy orgasm, still excellent.
On Monday, HBO aired Trump's interview with Axios, which was absolutely fantastic. Those White House briefings are steaming pile of the vast, you know, but Jonathan Swan was able to ask follow-ups and press on actual facts. Ew, gross. You can't do that. Why can't I do that? We flatten true facts into unrecognizable doodads and misinformation. We're last, and that means we're first. We're the best nation. Okay, I guess if you just look at the metric. But when you compare deaths to population and look at that percentage, it's bad. It's really bad. Much worse than, like, let's say, South Korea. You don't know that? Quit your verbal diarrhea. They're a developed country. Are you saying they lied? They are our allies. I'm not going to say there's something to hide, but I just think that you don't know that. I'm a professional journalist, so it's through my face alone that I scream, "You're so bad." Let's change the subject. What do you think about John Lewis? Never really knew him. He really blew it. Should have shown up at my inauguration. He only made a big mistake. It's me. The guy has done more for the black community than any other president. I never got out any slaves, unlike Thomas Jefferson. What about Lyndon Johnson, who passed the Civil Rights Act? Jonathan, open up your eyes. Ask, how has that turned out? Do you think it was a mistake? In my administration, we've worked out the best percentages in history. They really are the largest. Everything you just said was complete and utter garbage. Next year is going to be a great year, unless it's screwed by some dude who doesn't know what he's doing, which might happen, but I don't think it will. Well, it won't happen if Biden slides in and he removes you from Capitol Hill. Going back to the virus, you said they have it under control, but 1,000 Americans are dying a day, which is 1,000 more than the goal. They're dying, that's true, but it is what it is.
No, what this is a fucked up kid pretending this wasn't preventable. When countries listen to scientists, they're finding it's containable. If you increase testing, you'll find the cases, isolate them, and stop this thing from spreading. But in America, where it's a political statement to wear a mask, we're running out of beds in hospitals and running out of grace for lots of ill. Yet even with all of this COVID, Republicans forced schools to open, and it's going horribly because no shit. Schools are underfunded and overcrowded, yet they're suspending students for taking pictures of how bad it is. Not to mention the dress codes are asinine. You can't have visible bra straps, but the lack of masks is fine. After day one, the outbreaks come and they have nothing to show for it except for the COVID that they give to kids. We need to close schools down and pass some actual stimulus, which the president did today, August 8th, through executive order, but it's $300 less than what they got the month before. The real stimulus is in the HEROES Act, which the House passed back in May, but Mitch wants to send workers back to action even when it isn't safe, so he won't allow a vote and it dies in the Senate. With 160,000 Americans dead, Republicans haven't learned a lesson. It's not that they're ignorant, it's that they're malignantly negligent. A reminder, the census is ending a month early, so do it online or fill out a mailer, and arrest Brett Hankinson, John Mattingly, and Miles Cosgrove, the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. Tomorrow starts another week. Fuck it, here we go. For now, we're signing off. Keep puzzling, amigos.